Okay, hello, people who are listening out there, whether it's on Facebook or YouTube or nobody at all, or a lot of people. It's hot in here. Um, if you are listening, I appreciate it. I said I was going to do 2 of these YouTube videos a week and then a podcast, and I'm still working on that webpage to get that podcast up and going. I had intentions tonight to have a guest come on, and then just with the COVID and everything going around, we just thought it was maybe best we postpone that. We were going to do it Zoom, and then she's a friend of mine that deals with addiction and just family grief counseling, and I wanted to get her on here to kind of back up some of these things I'm about to read to you here in just a little bit. I'm going to keep this one shorter than I did my last 2 first videos, and like I said, the main point of this channel is to just help people. I'm definitely going to get into my story and go all the way through it, start to finish, and I will be ready to do that when I have some things in place as far as copyright things that I am learning about, and since I'm writing, I have to do that, and so therefore that's not really delaying me, I guess. What's delaying me right now is I have to get the website up and get the podcast up so I can start doing that, so we can start getting some people in here to be able to talk. I guess we could do it on Zoom, but I would like to set up a nice podcast on my website and then have it so I can have people chime in, whether it's through comments or video in or call in using audio, and we can go that route, which I think will make it a little bit easier for all of us to understand each other. So having said that, tonight I just really wanted to put out a couple things since it kind of didn't go as planned. Had a pretty good week. Got my COVID test back. I am negative. Unfortunately, I know too many people with this right now. I mean, knowing one is enough. Is one too many. But it's just dangerous out there, guys. I don't doubt that one bit. I might be skeptical into letting, a vaccine get shoved into my arm right away before I see how it works out, but that doesn't mean that I don't want the best for everybody, and I probably, I'm not going to end up doing it myself because I would like to live a full life too. So, and after having one bout with it, what I think it was anyway, even though it came back as a false positive, I still know I had it. I had something, and it was nasty. But unfortunately, my mom tested positive for it. Not to put her business out there, but she's doing well. I also have another person next to me that's kind of like a second parental figure. Well, is more than that, and I watched him fight through it, and it's just been unbelievable to watch a guy this strong fight through something that 6 months ago we never even would have thought would have happened, or 9 months ago or whatever. And he said to me today he's lucky to be alive. It's by the grace of God, and I believe him. I believe God gave him that strength to get through this, and saw him through that to get him through it home to his family. But having said that, it's affected more people than just my mom and the close people in my life, like the one I was just talking about. It's affected friends of mine. It's put people I know that own businesses out of work. It's just taking a huge toll, and I'm gonna go on a 2-second rant here. And if you don't like it, I don't care. I'm sorry. Okay, I'm gonna say it. This is for everybody. This isn't for the left. This isn't for the right. This is for people, normal people, who want to help other people. And I like I said in my last video, I'm guilty of this too, of jumping sides because I hear something that doesn't line up with maybe what I read. So I'm a little bit skewed on it to one way or the other. Ever since this COVID stuff has hit in the last couple weeks, it's really opened up my eyes. It's not that I didn't believe in it, because I always have. I've masked up, gloved up, you know, hand sanitizer stashed all over my car, wipe it down. I have a terrible case of OCD, so you know, when it comes to COVID, I'm freaking out about it. And you know, I've been fortunate where I think I may have had it. I was lethargic. I had a cough, a fever, but you know, I didn't have to go into the hospital. I didn't have to go on a ventilator. I didn't have to go on oxygen. You know, like the close person I was just talking about to me, and be as scared as he was, along with his family. And it just goes to show you that it is real. We all have to be careful. We do have to start paying attention to this mass stuff because, you know, we can say what we want. We can pick our political sides. We can argue back and forth, guys. Let's knock it off, man. I had people jump on me today about a question I inquired about. Not jump on me, but you know, just come at me with their stingers out. And I'm not the smartest guy in the world. I probably haven't been to as many places in the world as these people, but I guarantee I've been around the big block many more times than they have. I'm not proud of that. I pounded the pavement, and street smarts, that I definitely got them up here, so I can read people. And when you're jabbing at me and you're taking those blows at me, being a keyboard warrior on your little iPhone, tablet, or computer, I don't appreciate that much, because I know one thing: I'm not jumping on anybody's site specifically that I know and coming at them like that. So let's just knock that off, everybody. Let's not rebut in the comment section on this or on my Facebook page. Let's just knock it off, okay? I'm going to do my best to shut my mouth about it as much as I can. And I advise you to do the same thing, because you never ever know what someone is going through. And then they get on and they post something. And I've seen just today people that are struggling, and I've seen people comment on their threads or their posts that don't know what they're going through and just be so mean, whether they're a Democrat or a Republican, both sides, just rip them. And these people are on the verge of losing people they love. It's disgusting. I'm sick of seeing it. And I'm sick of finding myself being pulled into it and pulled away from the important things I know that I have going on in my life. So I'm guilty of it too. You know, we see something, we don't agree with it. We're divided right now. I don't care what anyone says. This is a divided nation. Sucks, man. You know, I mean, fortunately, most of my close friends of all different ethnic backgrounds and political views and all that, thankfully, we're all still together. And when we get together, we can agree to disagree, which is a really cool thing, because I don't see that anywhere. I see people disagreeing to disagree, and then it ends there. And then it ends in, you know, blah, 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 blah. I don't like you. You don't like me. You're deplorable. You're the L word, which I don't even want to say, you know. We don't need any of that stuff anymore. I'm going to do my part to do better, stay off stuff. I think we all should. I think we should all find somebody that's struggling. Obviously, we can't run up into their place because they might have COVID or they might be quarantining. But I think we need to start looking for people that are struggling and be sending them more words of encouragement, cards, flowers, assistance if needed, if that person is struggling that bad, because there are some people struggling that bad. They cannot work. They cannot get unemployment. They've tried. I mean, try calling unemployment. I mean, everybody I've heard that's tried to call it, it's a nightmare. And some people haven't had a nickel. And I know some of these people. Yeah, I know some lazy people who just don't want to work and they want unemployment, but I also know some hard-working people who have worked the last 25 years, some 7 days a week, and bust their butts, miss being around their families, do everything they can to be a good supporter, and they lost their job. And they cannot get unemployment, but yet the guy that barely worked last year got it, and he's doing fine. So it's hit and miss. I'm not saying the guy that barely worked didn't deserve it. I'm just saying let's have some compassion for people instead of ripping each other apart. And laugh at me if you want on the other end of this video. I don't care at all at this point anymore. I know who I am. I know what I've said. I regret certain things I've said. And I've made a decision. I'm just not going to waste my time with it anymore. Or any of you that just jump on my page after I don't see or hear from you for months, when all I post on my Facebook page right here are pictures of Gull Lake, the surrounding area, drone pictures, pictures of flowers, pictures of my bulldog. Do I post political stuff? I have, no doubt. I've tried to pull it all down because I've felt like a complete idiot for doing it, you know? Yeah, it's an important subject in our country right now. But it doesn't mean we all have to be posting our opinions and coming at each other like that. I'm done. I'm done with it. I don't care if you're right or left. If you're a good person, you're good in my book. If you're an idiot, then stay off my page and stay off my feed, and don't just hijack my post, or else it's not going to be pretty. Because if you cut into me, I know this isn't right. I know this isn't what God wants for me, but I'm going to cut into you back. Just because circumstantially, maybe I'm not in the best place right now, and maybe my wick is short. So I'm just giving you a fair warning. You know, you can either drop the shenanigans on Facebook. If I say something you don't like, scroll on by. If you say something I don't like, I'm definitely scrolling by like I have been. So, you know, maybe with the exception of a couple people that overstepped their boundaries and said some things that were just out of line that I didn't have a choice but to call out. So that's my rant about Facebook. I'm sorry. I'm sorry I even got to go there, guys. But I spent 2 hours today reading threads while I had some time earlier today. Terrible. Terrible, terrible, terrible. That was from this area. Gull Lake, Richland, Kalamazoo. I knew people in every thread, and it was embarrassing. Embarrassing the way people that used to be friends are talking to each other about stuff. Half of you guys don't even know the facts of what you're talking about, so get it straight or knock it off. Because we're all going to be dead one day, ashes to ashes, dust to dust. And you're going to regret that. I guarantee you that 100%. You're going to regret talking to that person like that. And you're not going to have a chance to do anything about it if you're not careful. That's all I got to say. I'm not perfect. Everybody knows that, okay? I screw up, if not more than anybody else. So I'm just saying, I was sickened with what I saw today. But getting back to the good stuff here, since I don't have my partner with me for tonight that was going to come out and do this interview with me, and she specializes in substance abuse. I believe has her PhD in substance abuse and substance abuse, PTSD, ADHD, and OCD. So she's quite knowledgeable in many different subjects, and I believe has a private practice now in Kalamazoo. And it's funny, I just kind of reconnected with her since I started this project in the last week, and she was really excited to get involved. It's just we both had people with COVID in our families, so we're trying to be careful. So what I want to do tonight is something really simple, and I hope you all hear this video through. With everything going on right now, this is going to be for Kalamazoo County tonight, okay? I will post on my next post. I said I will do 2 YouTube posts a week along with a podcast. I need to tweak on that website a little bit more, which I said I was going to do, and I haven't done it at all this week. But hopefully over the weekend, it looks like we got some rain coming, so I'm going to go ahead and play around with that and get it up and done so I can get that going next week. But this is what I want to read out tonight, okay? We all know that this is a very, very hard time, everybody. Obviously. That's not something it goes unsaid. Finding resources in the Kalamazoo area can be a little bit tough, especially if you've never had to do that before. If you've never had addiction in your family or alcoholism, or depression, mental health issues, ADD, ADHD, bipolar disorder, I don't know if I said depression, but alcoholism, OCD, all those things, okay, that psychiatrists and psychologists can help us with. And I have one other thing I want to show you at the end that is a very cool app that if you cannot afford to see these people, there is an alternative way to get somebody for a very cheap amount on the phone that is just a listener that you can call. I have worked with this company before, and I will tell you about it at the end of this video real quick and tell you how to download the app and how to use it. And they cannot give medical advice. If you are suicidal, they have to report that. That's part of their job. That was part of my job. It's more a talk line where you call in, we listen. If you just want to vent, you just have to say, hey, I just want to vent. There's going to be a whole list of topics you can choose to talk about. It's going to kick you out to a talker. Eventually, you can talk to 2 or 3 people and find a favorite talker and then request them. Like I haven't done it in about a month, and I just got a request 5 minutes ago, so I'm going to do one at 9 o'clock tonight. But I haven't been doing it as much, just trying to stay busy doing some other things. So having said that, I'll show you that at the end. So first thing, and I want you guys to listen to this. I'm not going to write it down in the comments below. I will when I get the podcast up. I will go back through. I will post all these lists with all these numbers and resources. And then on my next YouTube broadcast, when I do Calhoun County mental health and substance abuse service, I will try to start posting some of those up, but I will read you the address and the phone number and the hours and the name of the company here. And these are places that you can use as of right now. They're not closed, they're open. Most of them aren't 24 hours a day. I have a couple that are in case you need them. The app I told you about is